guys, Mike here. Mike's DVDs and Blu-ray Collection is back with another episode. This one's going to be a little shorter, a little sweeter, less calories, and all that good stuff. But anyways, guys, I recently got a new release from the Warner Archive, and it stars William Powell and Kay Francis, and it made me think, oh yeah, there's another movie that they did around the same time period called Jewel Robbery. So I dug out my old Forbidden Hollywood collection, Volume 4, and that had Jewel Robbery on it. And really good movie. William Powell is a professional thief. He does these really elaborate robberies, jewelry stores. He's got like a crew. They come in. He's just Mr. Charm, you know, and charm. But I think the jewelry store, Kay Francis's father, I believe, owns it and everything. And of course, they kind of meet up, and they kind of, those eyes connect, and you know from the start they're going to fall in love, and it's going to be something, but it doesn't become hokey or sappy or any of that stuff. It's just really good. It's got some very intricate scenes of the robberies and stuff, and I want to see who directed by William Dieterle. I always miss his name up. I think it's Dieterle. But anyways, Kay Francis is in it. And William Powell, and they make a really great couple in this and stuff. Now, William Powell would go on, I want to say this is 32, to 34, and to over at MGM, and he would make a movie called The Thin Man, which would turn into a whole, series of movies, the Thin Man movies and stuff. But very charming. I mean, William Powell started off in the silent days, believe it or not. He was in a great silent movie by Joseph von Sternberg called The Last Command. He's really good in that. But he transitioned very well over to talkies. I mean, he unmistakable voice. You know it's William Powell and everything. But he became very successful, very big at MGM and stuff like that. And sadly passed away in the 50s and stuff. But man, he was a great actor, William Powell. Kay Francis, not as long as William Powell. I mean, she just had a great little period, a great run from I want to say she started off in some silent movies too, maybe. The first time I ever saw her was in a movie called The Coconuts from 1929. That's a Marx Brothers movie. And it's really fascinating to see her then and how young and everything is, and just 2 years later she's this very sophisticated person and everything, but her career kind of started fizzling out around the late 30s, I want to say. I mean, by the end of her career she was working at cheaper studios, and I think she just said, hey, I'm going to retire. It's too much competition, I guess. But anyways, check that out, Jewel Robbery. I think you can only get it on this set here. Now, this is the Blu-ray that I recently got. It was just released within two months, month and a half, something like that. And this is a beautiful restoration of this movie. This is Tay Garnett is the director. He made this movie in 1932 called One Way Passage. And this is a great restoration of this movie. Warner Archive has just been knocking them out of the park all day long. Every month they come out with some good stuff. I saw the Blu-ray restoration of Safe in Hell, and it was like, man, that looks so good, and I was like, I'm gonna get One Way Passage because I haven't seen it for so long. And you hear me talk about, well, I first saw that movie at 6 a.m. on Showtime in 1992, and I recorded it on VHS or something, which was the case. I recorded it and only had it on VHS, and I never had any other physical copies or anything. So it's a great return to this movie, and always remembered it for some reason. I always just remembered being on the ship and stuff. But very, very good movie. Kay Francis is great as the woman with a very rare disease, and she's dying. She's on board the ship with her doctor. William Powell, debonair, charming William Powell, is a criminal that was, we think, falsely accused of a murder, and he's being escorted by a cop to San Quentin prison, where he's going to be electrocuted. So his life is doomed. If you look at it, he's looking at his life like, I'm doomed. This is it. And then Kay Francis is kind of looking at it the same way. She wants to be on this ship. She wants to have, some fun a little bit. She meets William Powell and falls in love with him. So then you got a dilemma there. She's going to die. She hasn't told him anything. He hasn't told her that he's a criminal that's about to be, put to death. So they fall in love. They kind of save that stuff towards the end. By then, they don't care. They don't care what's going on. And it just kind of ends. I don't want to tell you how it ends. It's just, but just a very good movie. I mean, and this Blu-ray release looks so good. It's just a great story. I mean, I really recommend you guys to run out and get this. This is what it says on the back. The seas are calm, the ship is sturdy, but the shipboard romance is doomed. Dapper young man Dan Hardesty, played by William Powell, does not know that lovely Joan Ames, played by Kay Francis, is dying of an incredibly rare disease, and Joan does not know that Dan is a convicted murderer on his way to San Quentin. Still, they have 4 weeks to find happiness in each other's arms. Or will Dan forsake the love of a lifetime for his own life, using the vessel's Honolulu layover as a chance to escape the law? The passage of time remains kind to One Way Passage, an Oscar winner for Best Original Story, directed with style and sensitivity by Tay Garnett, who, he would go on to make like the Postman Rings twice, and stuff like that. William Powell brings an unmistakable urbane charm to the role of Dan. As Joan, Kay Francis displays a lustrous sincerity that made her one of the era's favorite actresses. Their passage may be one way, but you'll find it's a voyage worth repeating, and that's very true. But this is definitely a movie I'll rewatch. It's one of those, and it's only 67 minutes long, so there's no excuse to not rewatch it sometime. Make it a double feature with something else. But One Way Passage, highly recommend that, guys. So there you go. Just a little bit short episode. I wanted to talk about Kay Francis and William Powell. They made a really good team. William Powell would move on, of course, doing the Thin Man series with Myrna Loy, and I think they even have a better teaming relationship, working relationship. So there you go, guys. So comments, let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you guys later. Take it easy.